Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the damn sofa. That's the sofa, and that's my little chihuahua, starring Night of the Living Chihuahuas, featuring Mr. Roscoe B. Coltrane. And my name's Paul. Now remember, this is my podcast channel. This is where I do more laid back, not really edited. We're kind of talking about recent news, articles, that kind of thing. Deeper dives, edited videos, story times, that kind of stuff is on my other channel. I'll put it up here, Reporting Live from My Sofa. Be sure to subscribe there. And also don't forget to check out my movie review channel. They're quick, easy little videos. Check it out. I'm putting it up there too. Now, today I wanted to come to y'all and just talk about this recent case that wrapped up. I have several things to talk about with it, but I'm curious to see what y'all think because it really made me feel a bunch of different things, right? Now, who we are talking about is Curtis Reeves. Okay, before we jump into it too much, the way I'm going to be doing this video is I have my computer sitting right over here. I'm going to be referencing articles, things of that nature. I will put them in the articles below, in the description below, so you can read the whole thing if you want to, because that's just what I had to do. So, and I'm going to reference my notes very quickly so I don't get this right, so I don't get it wrong. Can you tell I'm like got tongue-tied today? I actually went and had a crown put in today, so I'm coming off of the Novocaine, okay? You have to forgive me. Okay, 2014, Curtis Reeves shot a guy and his wife. We'll talk about that with her in a second. While they were at the movies, after he asked the husband to put his phone away. The husband did not make it. Now, the wife had basically stuck her hand up to get her husband to sit down, so it was like her hand got shot. So it wasn't like he specifically went after the wife. She just was in the crossfires, whatever. So recently, Curtis finally went to trial. He was acquitted on all charges. Walked free. Florida man walks free. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about it because I'm curious to see what y'all think in regards to this, right? Full disclosure, I did not watch this trial from start to finish. If you did, and you're like, oh, Paul, why I've got this tea or whatever, drop in the damn comments. Let me know. You know, because I just was kind of like, I saw this, and to be honest, I saw it going, and I was like, oh, Court TV must have uploaded, you know how they do the trials on demand or whatever? They'll put like old trials up there. I was like, oh, that happened so long ago. They must be like, you know, re-airing it or something. And then I was like, is this or is there a different movie theater incident? And then I'm like, this is really sad. It's state of, you know, the union these days where I have to go through my mind and be like, which person killed who at the theater, and which trial is this? I mean, I'm just like, really? But anyways, but no, it was the original one. So first and foremost, I was just like, this is just now going to trial. Y'all, it was 8 years. 8 years, okay? Now, mind you, COVID didn't help the situation, okay? But even take that out, okay? They had so many prelims, this and and they tried to do the stand your ground thing, but that didn't go. And I mean, you name it, right? The dude was 71 years old when this started. He's 79 now. I mean, you know, I'm just like, come on. Okay, so let's go into like what happened, okay? And I'm just going to, again, reference my notes here. Just going to read from the name, you know, sofa notes here. Please hold, please hold. Okay, so let's see here. Now, I'm going to be quoting this article. I'm going to link it down below. It is coming from, well, let's see here. I believe this is the Tampa Tribune, is it? The Tampa Bay Times, I'm sorry. And so it's coming from this article, and it's by Anastasia Dawson and Dan Sullivan. Now, I'll put a thing up here of it. I'm going to read the little quote part from it here in my notes, so just to kind of get to the chase. Okay, so this is Curtis Reeves talking. I truly thought this was the end of the line for me, Reeves testified in the trial. I thought at the very least I would be seriously injured if not killed. Olson, 43, and his wife Nicole sat a row ahead of them. As movie previews rolled, Reeves noticed Yul Olson, I'm probably saying the name wrong, looking at his cell phone. He told him to put the phone away. He ignored him and kept scrolling. Reeves got up, went to the lobby, and complained to a manager returning to the theater. He saw that he had put away his phone. He made a comment that if he had done so sooner, he wouldn't have had to tell the manager. At that, the gentleman rose, confronted Reeves. He grabbed the bag of popcorn and tossed it at him. So he grabbed Reeves' popcorn and threw it at him. Reeves immediately reached into his pocket, drew a .380 caliber pistol, and fired. Okay, now hold on, let me just scroll down here a little bit and see if it keeps going here, if I took out some. Okay, so the wife had raised her hand to try to get her husband to sit down. The bullet hit her finger before penetrating his chest, so it was like her finger that it hit. Chad Olson staggered down the aisle and collapsed. An off-duty Sumter County Sheriff's deputy disarmed Reeves. Okay, so there's like what happened, right? So now I will read in this article and whatnot, it's talking about, people are like, that's not what happened. This was different, and that was only his account, and so on and so forth. Clearly, there's going to be two sides of the story: the wife who survived, and him, people who saw it, that kind of a thing. And we're going to read through a little bit of that stuff here in a second. So that's the initial thing. So they were going for like a self-defense thing. One of the things that really happened with this case, so what this comes down to, and essentially what I'm looking for your opinion on with this, is do you think that he was justified in what he did? Okay, now remember, Florida has a stand your ground law. Many people have tried to utilize this to get away with stuff, certain things. Most recently we have, which it didn't fly. Remember the case where the guy killed the dudes playing the radio when he pulled up to the store, and he shot them, but he ended up going away for that, if I remember correctly. Obviously you had other ones. I can't remember the guy's name, the commando guy. I can't, not George Foreman. You know who I'm talking about. Drop it in the comments. I can't think of it now. But anyways, this has always been a thing, right? So because this guy was a former officer, it was almost like, well, look, he was trained to recognize danger, this kind of a thing. This triggered that. I saw a lot of people saying that the Chad dude was, very aggressive, that type personality, so on and so forth. So there was also a thing where Reeves, remember Reeves is the older gentleman who did the shooting, said he felt like he was hit with something before everything went down, like not just the popcorn, obviously. Other people said that they didn't see that, so there was some talk about maybe a phone was thrown at him or something like that. So here's a couple of just thoughts on this so far. Okay, so I'm one of these people, let's just break it down like this. When I go to the movie theaters, yeah, people annoy me if they're talking, but at this day and age, I go to the movie theater assuming that's going to happen because people just really have no respect for the movie theater situation anymore. Unless you go to the Alamo Draft House, they make it so you can tell the manager and put a little sign up, and they'll go talk to the people. So there's that, right? Do I expect in a normal movie situation someone to kick someone out? I mean, it depends on the threshold of what drama's going on, right? This is how I view the previews. I like the previews. This is my only time that it's going to have my attention to see what's coming out anymore. So I enjoy that. I look at the previews as a warning signal to everybody to be like, we're getting ready to do the movie thing. Let's wrap up phone calls. Let's do whatever we got to do. It's not the time for it. This is our in-between zone. We're getting ready. People are putting their shoes on. Stuff's getting ready to happen, right? So I view that time period as that. I have been in situations like what they're talking about not too long ago. I think it was the Spider-Man movie where the people sitting in front of me, this guy and a girl, the guy was on, in his Instagram DMs the whole time. And honestly, I was just like, again, I came up with stories for people, so I'm like, well, isn't that your girlfriend there? Who could be on Instagram DM that you want to talk to so badly? And why are you here if you don't want to watch the movie? I mean, all these things go through my mind, right? And I'm just like, I don't know their story. It doesn't matter, Paul. Let's just watch the movie. But that's not my problem at this point. So it's annoying is what I'm getting at, right? When you see somebody's screen coming on constantly, and I'm just like, why go? I'm the type of person that, and if you watch my scary movie channel, one of the questions I ask for every movie, did it make me put my phone down? If I'm at the movie theater and wanting to pick up the phone constantly, I'm leaving, okay? I don't care what I paid for it. We're not going to stay. If it's that boring to me, why bother? And so I do find it annoying. Would I talk smack to someone over it? Absolutely not. Okay, because of this very reason. Especially especially in Florida or Texas. Okay? I mean, like, period, end of story. Let's just be real honest here, okay? Like, in this day and age where things are just different, right? And so I'm not trying to victim blame him or anything like that. I'm kind of looking at it from my perspective, because this is a scenario that a lot of us can find ourselves in. Like, you're in the movie theaters and somebody is annoying with their phone, right? This is like a common thing. So that's the part where I'm like, wow, was he justified in shooting? I think that's a little extreme. If the dude was talking smack to him, like, when we leave out of here, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to I mean, I'm like, okay. My next thing is, well, could you have, like, walked to the lobby and called the police? You know what I'm saying? Because this is the kind of the vibe I got. I feel like what happened is two hotheads encountered each other, right? Because the dude to sit here and be like, put your phone away, that's kind of ballsy, right? But then to also, if we're going by the story, if he goes and tells management, I'm like, well, did management come back and do something? But regardless, he comes back and continues to talk smack. It's like throwing gasoline on the fire, right? Then this dude sounds like if he's just going to be like, yeah, shut up, or and then they kind of get up. Someone taking an object from your hands and throwing it at you is definitely 100%. That is, I don't care what it is, right? If it's popcorn, that is, I want to throw down. Like, we're entering fighting terms at that point, right? You're basically, technically, probably assaulting someone at that point. I mean, as far as I know. Again, I ain't no lawyer up in here, y'all know that. So that's where this is very fascinating to me. But then you also get into it like, okay, well, this is popcorn. Da-da. Now, this part doesn't go unnoticed by me either. He's taking a gun and firing it in a movie theater. I'm just like, really? I mean, he shot the wife in the finger, right? So I'm just like, I mean, this is like not the place for this. Am I surprised that he was not guilty? Yes. You can never tell where those kind of cases are going to go, right? One case you'll see where it's like, how did he do this? He just literally took someone's life and walked away from it. This next one you might think, oh, surely there's no way that he'll walk. Nope, not going to do that. This one, I mean, honestly, I was like, oh, they're going to completely convict him. Like, I mean, you just can't shoot somebody in a movie theater. We get away with it, but he did. So, but again, it's like, it's the variants of laws of self-defense of things of this nature that create that space. And it's like, look, can we prove that this person was honestly, legitimately scared for their life? And I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to. And again, I feel like if the dude hadn't taken the popcorn, right, and thrown it in his face, like, say everything happened, but literally it was just words, and everybody was like, we cannot say that we saw the dude throw the popcorn, like pick his popcorn, throw him. I think this would have had a different outcome. I think he would have probably been found guilty. I think that had a lot to do with it. So anyways, I'm going on and on. I'm curious what y'all think, because this one was such a heated, verdict and opinions on it and all that kind of stuff. So please be nice to one another in the comment section. I mean, everyone has a different opinion on this. I'm very curious to see what yours is. This is very tricky, very complicated. At the end of the day, somebody's life was lost, right? Now, again, the guy was 79 years old. He's 79 now, it's 8 years ago. He was going to walk his daughter down the aisle that weekend, which I found that to be interesting, because I was like, wow, I mean, did they have backup plans? What if he had not been, what if he had been found guilty? You know what I'm saying? Like, they were like so sure of that, but maybe it was like, oh, mom will walk me down the aisle, whatever, I don't know. But I just thought it was interesting they had these immediate plans to go do that weekend, right? She kind of like based her wedding around this. Why not do it beforehand? But who knows? Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to check out all the stuff down in the description below. I appreciate you hanging out with me at the sofa and Roscoe. And until we go around here to talk some smack about something, well, I'll see you then.